What is your favorite mount in Minecraft, and why is it your favorite? And is it the newly added camel? Because I think that's my favorite. Welcome back, my fellow gamers. It's me, Amanda. Today we're going to be talking all about possibly the best mount Minecraft has to offer, camels. Maybe some people in the comments are gonna be like, I'm not as much of a fan of camels, but you know what? You're wrong. Camels are great. I'm gonna convince you. Number 10, 1.20 update. Camels are coming to us from the 1.20 update of Minecraft. While we don't really know a ton about this update yet still, and everything we've gotten feels kind of a little bit all over the place, we do know we are at least getting camels. Things I'm most excited for: camels and usable bookshelves. In fact, the content that has been revealed so far for this update seems to suggest that this could be a desert or a jungle update, or maybe a little bit of both, or maybe it's neither of those things. Perhaps this is actually an update to various biomes we've been waiting on from previous biome votes, with the added bonus of some fresh jungle content. Fresh jungle. I can smell the jungle. The only downside to that would be that if it's true, this likely means that the update could be as scattered as the wild update, which many nicknamed the mild update for the fact that they felt it didn't really bring enough to the table. So hopefully we don't go that route. Camels for me were one of the main standouts when it comes to the as of yet unnamed 1.20 Minecraft update, and in terms of all the things that we know will be in it thus far. They are a new mob expected to arrive in the 2023 update, which fits well with the theory of it being an update focused on the desert. Although, as I said, they are only one of many different additions that have been promised to us thus far. And friends, before we move on to our next spot on this list, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Gaming, why not click that subscribe button? Do it. Do it. It'll bring you 10 years of good luck. Number 9. Their weakness is also their strength. Another interesting fact about camels is that they can be damaged by cacti, which makes sense. I mean, if I walked into a cactus, I would also probably be damaged. Despite having some of the most health of mount mobs in the game, if a camel walks into a cactus, it will become injured and will lose some of its health as a result. However, camels do seem to heal naturally over time, so this isn't a big deal if you happen to just walk into one or, two cactuses during your journey out in the desert. Although it can be a big deal if you're a camel that just likes to walk into cactuses, which I've already seen happening in the game. The really interesting thing though is that they also love cacti. Even though they can also hurt them, camels are attracted to cacti and actually love to eat them. If you are holding a cactus and are within 6 blocks of a camel, it will actually follow you wherever you go. That's how much it wants to munch on that cactus. In fact, eating them can also make them feel a sense of love, putting them in a perfect mood to mate, entering the love state, if they happen to be near another camel, that is. An interesting fact for those who want to possibly breed their camels in-game. Also, baby camels are super cute, like I gotta say. Having seen them, I'm like, oh my gosh. Number 8. Tallest mob. If you are a person who prefers to be higher up in vehicles, whether it be driving or as a passenger, then this mob just might be the one for you. It turns out that the camel mob has something that most of us were not even theorizing as existing for it. At least I was never even thinking about this. It is the tallest mob around. The height of the camel comes in at 2.375 blocks, making it taller than all other rideable mobs in the game. Horses come in at 1.6 blocks, along with mules, donkeys, and of course skeleton horses, which are the same height, and pigs have you riding pretty low to the ground, being only 1.1875 blocks tall, which is shorter than even you are in game. Even striders, which are a bit taller than horses, are nowhere near as tall still as camels, being 1.7 blocks in height themselves. Number 7. Health. Camels appear to be pretty hardy when it comes to their health. They contain a standard health of 16 hearts, which means that they actually have 32 health points standardly. This means they actually have just a little bit more health than a standard horse does. Horses have 15 hearts, which is equivalent to 30 health points, so camels are actually a little bit tougher, which once again makes sense considering that they're used to living in harsher conditions and in the real world are biologically built to survive these more intense and severe climates. I think this may also mean they have some of the most health in comparison to other mounts in the game, which is pretty wild. They're super tall, they got a lot of health. They're just great. Number 6. Spawning area. If you are looking for a camel to call your own, you will want to head out to the desert. This makes sense given that in the real world, camels are often associated with desert areas. That's why they have their humps, which some will tell you is where they store excess water, but in reality, it's actually not that simple. In fact, instead, camels store excess fat in their humps, which they can then use to give them extra energy. However, this also depletes some of their water reserves at the same time. In fact, camels, just them breathing, I believe, gets rid of water in them, so that's pretty crazy. So it's less about cooling off and more about bolstering energy on longer voyages through the desert, which also probably makes camels really thirsty after any long trip, although camels themselves don't actually need to drink a lot of water. Camels in Minecraft can be found in desert villages, so if you are hoping to tame one yourself, this is the area you will want to head towards and explore in order to find them. Number 5. Lazy attitude. Camels seem to have a lackadaisical approach to life in the world of Minecraft, which honestly makes a lot of sense. I know when I'm in a very hot climate, like when I was out in Arizona where the heat is also really dry, so it's a really interestingly dry heat, I prefer to mainly just sit and relax, not do too much. Moving in heat feels like it requires more energy, and the sun of course can be exhausting. So I commiserate with the camel's tendency in game to be found slowly moving around, but mainly just sitting down. However, this should also make it easier to mount and ride a camel, no? Number 4. How to tame. So let's talk about that. How do we ride a camel? Well, it seems based on other people's experience testing them that jumping on a camel is actually pretty easy to do. After all, they're mainly found just sitting around and moving slowly, so they aren't tricky to approach and climb atop. However, while this will successfully allow you to ride a camel by just jumping on it without much protest from the camel itself, in fact, it's not really a great way to get the camel to do what you want. In order to do this, you will actually need a saddle. Adding a saddle to the camel before you mount it allows you to actually take control over the camel and where it goes, allowing you to fully ride and manipulate the camel to take you wherever you want. What this seems to imply is that there may be no taming at all required for taking control of a camel in game. So far, it seems just putting a saddle on the camel gets this job done for you. So put a saddle on and away you go. Number 3. Controls. So now we know how to find and tame a camel, if we can call that taming. It's not really taming. But how do we control the camel once we successfully are on one? What kind of controls do we have at our disposal? Well, you can cause the camel to speed up, making it sprint, and there is also a dash feature. This feature can either be described as a dash or a jump depending on how you see it. Really, it looks like more of a dash though based on what you experience while riding, based on the videos I've seen around it. The dash/jump function forces the camel to move quickly, 12 blocks ahead, allowing you to jump over small ravines or gullies, which honestly is pretty cool. While technically you are clearing this gap, which definitely could be seen as a jump, you'll notice that it doesn't really seem like you move upward at all, and you actually move really quickly. It appears more like a quick gallop is more happening, which is why I like to call it a dash, since you are so level at the time. In fact, I don't even think you move up at all. Number 2. Double seater. Camels aren't just something one player can ride at a time. No, no, no. In fact, they are considered to be a 2-seater mount, which is something that we all kind of predicted might be a thing, and it looks like it will be a thing, which is pretty cool and unique for Minecraft, although not unique in regards to mounts in general in terms of the history of mounts. If we take a look at one of the original MMORPGs, Guild Wars 2, it actually has a super cool dual seat mount that I love, the Siege Turtle. It's super awesome, and it comes with a turret for the person riding in the rear to control. Also, you're moving around on a freaking giant turtle. When it comes to the camel mount in Minecraft, you can only access the secondary seat when the first is occupied. This can be used to carry another person along with you on your travels, so the person in the front is controlling the steering, the person in the back, they're just chilling. Perhaps a friend who wants to join you for a ride across the Minecraft map might jump on the back with you. Not as cool as a Siege Turtle, but it's still pretty awesome. Number 1. Climb. An interesting fact about camels in Minecraft is that they seem like they are actually one of the few who's able to just climb over things, which I personally think is fascinating. Now, they can't climb up a wall or a ladder per se. These aren't weird spider camels climbing around walls, but they are the only mount I believe with the ability to clear a fence by just climbing over it. This could have to do with their height as to why this is possible for camels alone and not, let's say, something like a horse to do this without, like, at least jumping or something. Camels just like walk right through it. Perhaps camels with their tall stature and their long legs merely step right over the fence, allowing them to easily enter and leave gated areas without a care. The downside to this is that because camels can clear gates themselves, you'll need to be careful with how you contain them. Instead of simply penning them up, it's likely that camels will also need to be tied up to keep them from wandering off from whatever area you hope to contain them in. Yeah, camels might love to spit and be known for their stubbornness and their smelliness, but in the world of Minecraft, they honestly just seem pretty useful and cool. I can't wait till they're actually added in, if indeed they remain as part of this update and don't get delayed like so many things have. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep on surviving, keep on creating, and of course, keep on gaming on. Pew pew!